Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's fourth and final video. I'm going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's final video, day 10. Going to take us to the 20th of December, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles, and may run to around a couple of weeks. So have a look at the CFS V2 for January at the end of the video, and I shall get on with that for you in a moment. Just say about the first video received on 7 AM upload. We've also released the ECM WF 42-day forecast. That wasn't up January Friday as well, so please check out all the videos. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. And just say no live stream coming up tonight. I've not been feeling 100% this week, so going to have another quiet evening, I think. And so no Friday night live stream this week. We will be back live stream, though, hopefully, fingers crossed anyway, on Sunday. And then, you know, fingers crossed again, double fingers crossed, we'll be back live streaming next Friday night, which, of course, will be 1 week before Christmas Eve then. So that'll be a bit of a laugh next Friday, hopefully. But yeah, I'm going to have another quiet night tonight and get my energy levels back, because I've been feeling rather tired and run down this week. Right, so let's start off central in temperature then. So the CT is currently sitting at 5.1, which is about average for the time of year, 0.1 of a degree above average, so pretty much bang on average. That's provisional to the 9th of December. That's going to start rising over the next few days, probably going to get into the 6s, I would have thought, by this time next week, as we are in for some much milder weather. And we've been talking about this, of course, a lot in the videos just lately. So these are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks for London, showing up this mild weather quite nicely. The red line is a 30-year upper air temperature average for London. We're starting off still rather below average at the moment, but you know, from the weekend into next week, the trend is going milder than average, so becoming milder through the third week of December. Now, heading towards the Christmas week, we see that we've got a lot of scatter appearing. There is a cooling trend, definitely. So we find that the ensemble membership of white line is reducing. There is like a 50-50 split between some ensemble members that keep things milder up here, and these ones down here that are turning things much colder. And some of them are really going very cold now. Some of these ensemble members are going very cold. This one, for example, is going really cold. We've got a cluster just here, just for or over Christmas, that's going very cold as well. So you certainly look at that, and you certainly wouldn't be ruling out the chance of a cold Christmas. Equally, though, we might still get away with a relatively mild sort of Christmas as well. These ensemble members up here can't be ruled out. But as each ensemble, as each ensemble run is appearing, we do see that more and more of these ensemble members are going cold, and some of them going very cold, actually. Precipitation-wise, going to be a lot of dry weather over the next couple of weeks, so high pressure will be dominating the scene. Not going to be completely dry. There will be some precipitation there, for example, through early part of next week, but generally it's going to be a lot of dry weather with this area of high pressure, high and dry in weekend. Just the exact position of the high is going to be very critical in determining where, what the temperature does and what not. We see this high pressure on the ensemble graph for sea level pressure, so starting off with low pressure at the moment, but the trend is very much upwards, reaching around 1,014 millibars as we go from like the middle of December onwards towards the Christmas period. So very high pressure, and then a gradual reduction in pressure taking place as we go up towards the Christmas period. In terms of temperatures, we do see this cooling trend on the way. So at the moment, starting off about average, I suppose, with temperatures. But they're going to lift up and becoming very mild for London as we go into the early part of next week. But it doesn't last all that long. You notice it's only like 2 or 3 days, around the 12th to the 14th. But it's genuinely very mild. And then the trend is downwards. So back to around average temperature through the second half next week, despite the fact that we have warm upper air temperatures then. And then continuing to get colder, really, as we go in towards the Christmas period. Albeit, again, there is a lot of scatter. We have got these ensemble members up here, which are really mild for Christmas. They'll be producing like very mild temperatures up to around 14 degrees for Christmas. But then we've got a higher number, though, but are really quite cold, clustering at a really cold level for Christmas as well. So Christmas is up the grass, but we definitely see a cooling trend going on there as we're going towards Christmas. And for Christmas itself, itself, you know, there are some really quite cold ensemble members that are mixed in. So going to be interesting to see how it all plays out, isn't it? Temperature anomalies for the temp to the 18th December are going to be milder than average. Precipitation anomalies from the temp to the 18th December are going to be drier than average as well. The latest wind pro map from earthnullschool.net shows that we're bringing in quite a coolish sort of northwesterly at the moment, but the wind will be back into the southwest, you know, from tomorrow onwards and through the weekend. Are going to drag in milder air from off the Atlantic. This is how the UK Met Euro is looking midnight on Monday. Quite a deep area of low pressure bringing stormy weather to north of Scotland then, but drawing up this very mild southwesterly wind. Heading through next week, it stays pretty mild, but with time we're going to find the area of high pressure building up from the south, of course. So by the time you get through to this time next week, which is 17th December, high pressure is taking over across not only UK but much of Western Europe. And although the upper air temperatures with that are mild on the surface, we could be starting to see some frost and fog, especially so for more southern areas. As far as we get to with the UK Met Euro, South GFS midnight run is looking again, looking quite stormy midnight on Monday for the far northwest Scotland, but drawing up this very mild southwesterly wind into the middle of next week. Again, we look mild winds coming in from west-southwest direction, and wettest in the north, driest in the south and southeast. And the high pressure takes over for the second half next week up to 1,035 millibars, bringing lots of dry weather across western parts of Europe and increasing risk of frost and fog under that area of high pressure as we go through to the weekend of the 18th, 19th of December. We're under a big winter anticyclone, so again, frost and fog could well be starting to become widespread at with a central pressure of that high pressure to 1,040 millibars, very intense area of high. Now that's day 10, high pressure right over top of the country then, bringing lots of dry, fine weather, but it could be getting colder if an inversion is going to take place under the high pressure. Now, what happens with that high after Christmas, after day 10, bring up towards Christmas? Let's have a look. So the high pressure sort of sits around the country still as we go to 22nd of December, beyond day 10, still under that area of high pressure. Gradually, with time, it's inching its way out to our west. Colder air from the Arctic is digging in to Scandinavia. And actually, as we go to Christmas Eve, we find that much of northern Europe is being plunged into a proper freeze up there, with its trough low pressure plunging southwards through west of Russia and bringing in these very cold northern winds. Now, as ever, we're just on the periphery of that for the UK and for Ireland. Look at the upper air temperature there on Christmas Eve. So most parts of the UK and Ireland relatively mild, but we're just bringing in the -5 Celsius iceberg as far northeast of Scotland. Much of northern Europe looks bitterly cold, though, with heavy snow and a real plunge of Arctic air. And that carries on into Christmas Day. Look at this midnight on Christmas Day, pulling in these very, very cold north-northeastern winds across much of northern Europe as well. Again, we're just on the periphery of that. We are bringing the -5 Celsius iceberg mode, so it is getting colder over Christmas, even into like northern and eastern parts of the UK, but the real freeze up is over the other side of the North Sea, and it does look quite severe, that actually, quite severely cold for much of northern and increasingly towards central and eastern parts of Europe as well, with those bitterly cold upper air temperatures. That's Boxing Day, as far as midnight and Boxing Day, as far as we go with GFS today, has many parts of Europe absolutely engulfed in freezing cold temperatures. Look at those upper air temperatures. We're just about getting the -10 Celsius iceberg onto the East Anglian coast, but overall the big freeze, and it is a big freeze that, being kept at bay just over the other side of the North Sea. But you see what a close run thing this is. We are so close there to bring in a very, very cold Christmas across the UK and Ireland. Much of Europe does really get it with this GFS midnight run. It's probably at the extreme end of the range, so even for like Northern Europe, it won't finish up quite as cold as that. But it is a suggestion that we are playing around here with the chance of a notably cold outbreak across Northern Europe around this Christmas period. So obviously this is going to be raising lots of interest, however it plays out over the coming days. Meteorologists are going to be keeping a very, very close eye on what's happening here. GFS 6Z looks like that. Again, Monday, relatively mild with stormy weather perhaps far north of Scotland. Generally mild conditions then carrying on into the middle part of next week before high pressure takes over through the second half of next week, bringing loads of dry and fine weather. That high pressure or running up towards day 10 starting to inch its way out to our west, but not quite making up to Greenland up to day 10. This is the 20th of December. Still that high pressure set over top of the country. In the more extended range, again, you just keep that high pressure going. Again, same idea for Northern Europe, though, pulling down these very cold northerly winds. We're not far from it, but most of the cold areas to the north and the east on this GFS 6Z run. And that's how we look as we get through Christmas period. Just no change at high pressure, stuck firm over top of the country. Again, will that high pressure sit around for Christmas? Will it go north? Will it go northwest? Go northeast? Will it go south? And reaches by the winds from the Atlantic? It's all to play for. It's all to be revealed. Moving on to the GEM. If you enjoyed the video, please smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. Drop a comment. Let's not think about missing all of our videos. We need to put on around 70 subscribers now. 75 subscribers to 70 to get to 12.9k. Please give us a sub. Thank you so much for doing that. Can we get to 13k before Christmas? That would be good if we could, but it's going to be a tall order. GM looking like this. Very mild with these southwesterly winds on Monday, and these mild conditions carry on through the middle part of next week. Then second half of next week, high pressure building up from the south, taking over, bringing lots of dry weather with it, increasing that high pressure moving northwards as we go towards day 10 with the GM. Cold northern winds blasting into Scandinavia and northern and northeastern Europe. Again, we're just on the periphery, but bringing -5 celsius iceberg into the far northeast of Scotland. You see what a close run thing this is for whether we're going to get a cold Christmas or not. That high pressure just needs to go that little bit further northwards, back this trough a little bit further westwards, and down will come those northerly winds. I've got pretty good confidence that Northern Europe is going to have a cold Christmas here, but whether this backs all the way into the west to the UK, really is on a knife edge. And like we said in winter forecast, 50-50. We always said this Christmas is a 50-50 between whether it's a cold Christmas or a mild Christmas, and that's just the way the weather patterns are working out through this early winter period. Remember, later on in the winter, we've got greater confidence that the cold will begin to lock in through January and February. But December was always going to be that kind of knife edge month, and Christmas, again, was always going to be that knife edge sort of day. This is how the ECM is talking. Again, winds in from the southwest early next week, so relatively mild. This is like the autumn pattern re-emerged. Remember, we said in winter forecast, December would swing between the winter pattern, which would be, overall quite a cold block pattern, but also we would find ourselves going back to the mild autumn pattern. And this is it, like Wednesday, 15th December next week, got high pressure to the south and east where it was so often through the autumn, bringing in these mild southwesterly winds with the driest weather in the south and wettest weather in the north. As we go beyond that with the ECM into the weekend of the 18th, 19th of December, high pressure builds northwards, pushes in across the country, brings lots of dry, fine weather up towards day 10. The high pressure centre is kind of between Scotland and Iceland, so again you see how we begin to draw in those cold northerly winds into northern, northeastern parts of Europe, Estonia, Latvia. They're going to be plunging into probably Finland too. That will probably back towards Sweden, maybe Norway in the days before Christmas. Does that back further west though and get into the UK and to Ireland? It's on a knife edge. We've got to take that high pressure further northwards and northwestwards if we're to pull those cold north to northeasterly winds in. As it is, that is quite a cool ridge by that point and would be producing frost and fog as a high pressure centre to the north of Scotland. This will be a precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from tometeo.com. And going to be a lot of dry weather over the next week, 10 days in the south. Starting off quite settled in the northwest, but even there, the high pressure will take over and turn us mainly dry up to day 10. These are the options on the table within the ECM Ensembles today for day 10, which gets us to the 20th of December from the Icelandic Met Office. 20 members of the ECM Ensembles, including the control and the operation run, having high pressure centred over and slightly to the north of the country, so mainly dry, but could be a little bit chilly with the wind coming in from the northeast around that area of high pressure. Then we've got 17 just here that have more of a Scandinavian type high with low pressure out to west. That's more of an easterly type feed, really. So that could bring in some colder air from the east. And then we have 14 with high pressure pretty much right over top of the country, kind of like what the GFS is showing at day 10, which could produce frost and fog, but keeps the cold weather, largely away from us. And then in 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. This gets us to Christmas Day. Well, we have 19 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure over top of the country, mainly dry, could be frost and fog, but not overly cold. And then we have 18 with high pressure centre between Scotland and Norway. That would draw in the wind from a northeasterly direction. That could be cold, and we could bring in winter showers, maybe snow showers to eastern areas. And then 14 just here with high pressures as a proper Scandinavian high, actually, and that would bring in the wind from the east. So if we put the 18 with the 14, then it does look as though the ECM ensembles are looking quite cold there for Christmas Day. Interesting. Right, last thing to look at is CFS-V2. This is a 700 millibar height anomaly for January. And wouldn't you know it, CFS is going for a mild January with low pressure around Greenland and ice and high pressure from the Azores into Spain and then north eastwards into western Russia. Obviously, that draws in a very mild wind from the southwest. The temperature anomaly in January, therefore, is predicted to be above average. A mild month is forecast. This is a very, very cold January predicted for, like, northwestern Canada, northwest America, and also Alaska. And a really mild January forecast, which is southern and eastern America as well, so that's quite interesting. And as far as precipitation goes, no signal, but I suspect it will be a rather wet month, particularly for more northern and western areas with those southwesterly winds. We'll see. Right, if you've enjoyed the video, please smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for doing that, and tell your friends and family to subscribe as well. Thank you so much for doing this. For GavsWeatherVids. We've got to put on, as I say, around 75 subscribers to get to 12.9k. So please give us a sub, get us to 12,900 subscribers. And when we get to that point, we'll start opening up the competition. That's the Amazon voucher. We're giving away a £30 Amazon voucher when we reach 13k. So £30, 13k, and that will commence, taking everybody's names and whatnot for that draw when we reach 12.9 thousand subscribers. So yeah, getting close. But whether we'll be able to get to 13k for Christmas, I don't know. I think it'll be more in towards the new year, probably. But we'll see. We'll see about that. Right, so that's it for your videos for today. Obviously, all the interest is with this high pressure. Where's the high pressure going to go? Will it allow cold air into Northern Europe? I think it probably will. Will it allow cold air into Western Europe to back into the UK and Ireland? That's on a knife edge. That's 50-50. And so we've just got to wait and see how it all works out, how it all resolves itself. But I think it is going to be quite an exciting week or so as we try to work this out, what's going to happen with this high pressure. And high pressure could well hold the key to the heart of the winter. If that high pressure gets to Scandinavia or to Greenland and sticks there, that holds the key to the weather into the new year and maybe into January. So a critical point perhaps being reached around Christmas with the fate of this winter. Right, so we'll keep you updated about all of that. So no live stream coming up tonight. I'm going to have a bit of a rest again this evening. Get myself 100% for Sunday's live stream. Just tell you what's coming up over the weekend. Tomorrow, we'll have a 7 a.m. upload. We'll have a 10 to 14 day weekend broadcast and the 18th Christmas update as well. Tomorrow on Sunday, again 7 a.m. broadcast, probably a 10 to 14 day. There's no winter updates now, no long range on Sunday for the time being, so probably just a 10 to 14 day on Sunday. And we'll also be live stream on Sunday evening at 6 p.m. I think we'll start doing Ensembles Watch Live. How does that sound? Ensembles Watch Live coming up on Sunday, perhaps. You enjoy the rest of your Friday, and for this video, though, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.